and welcome to my channel. I'm Susan. Guess what we're going to do today? What do you think this is? Yep, corn. We're going to freeze some corn. I'm going to show you how I do it, at least. And I learned this way from some Hutterites up in Montana. I used to buy a lot of corn from them. I'm going to trim off the top a little here, and of course the bottom. We're going to cut this off the cob when you're ready for it here. I have a trash can down here. I hope I hit it. And take these outer leaves off. Now I'm going to plunge this corn, when I get a few ears, in some boiling water. Now you probably think that's a little odd, but I'll show you why in a few minutes. You plunge it in water, hot water. You put it in cold water, and all the silk comes off, and you don't have to stand there and peel it one at a time. Alright, let's get some of this cleaned up, and we can get it into the pot. I'll tell you, this is not my favorite job, but boy, I sure do like eating corn. So we'll get this done. I hope you do too. I don't know where you are in the country, but you're probably close to being done with your harvest too. Not that we harvested this corn, like I said, we bought it from a friend of ours. She has the best corn in the business, I think. We bought 3 dozen. I may regret that in a few minutes. Okay, I think this is what I'm going to do here to show you what's going on. You don't have to peel it all off, just get those stragglers off there. Now, I have a pot of hot water over here, boiling. I'm going to drop these in. Just going to do 4 so I can show you what's happening. Now I'm going to wait a couple minutes, and then we're going to plunge it into some cold water. If you want, you can use ice water. I just use cold tap water because here it gets pretty cold. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to cut it after it cools. We're going to cut it off the cob, put it in seal-a-meal bags, stick it in the freezer, and by golly, come the mid-January when it's snowing and blowing outside, we're going to have some tasty fresh corn. It's been frozen. So now I'm going to take the corn out. It's been in there for a couple minutes. I'm going to drain it a little, put it in this bowl so I can transport it over to the sink. See how green the husks are? Get most of that hot water out there. I'm going to slide it over, and I've got a sink full of cold water here. This is just so I can handle it to take off the rest of the husks. We're going to give this a couple minutes to cool down. Now I'm hoping you can see what's going on over here, because this is the trick. Let me bring it over to the cutting board and show you what's going on. I'll have to mop my floor again anyway. So what we're going to do, look at that. See all that silk coming off? You don't have to pick a whole lot of it off. Look at that. Might have left it in a little longer in the hot water, but look at how much silk's come off there. how easy that is. So I'm going to cut this off. And I'm going to dump this in the trash. And I'm going to do the rest of these 3 dozen. And then I'll be back and show you exactly what we're going to do with it. So stay tuned. Not yet.
Oh, Susie?
What?
Susie, before we give me a corn dance. Susie,
No, I'm not giving you.
give me a corn dance. Okay.
Okay, we're back. We've got all the corn shucked. I probably need to explain. I told you that we got that little trick from the Hutterites up in Montana, and you're probably wondering, what are Hutterites? Well, Hutterites are an Anabaptist. When they broke away in, I don't know, several hundred years ago, they broke into 3 sects: Hutterites, Mennonites, and Amish. So we dealt a lot with the Hutterites. Hutterites are a lot different from Amish and Mennonites in that they live in communes. They eat together, men on one side, women on the other. They worship together, men on one side, women on the other. They're major agriculture people. They do a lot of farming, livestock, pigs, and of course they sell their vegetables and fruits. So that's what Hutterites are, and they're located in mainly, I think, Montana, but they're spread out throughout the country, I'm sure. So anyway, we've got everything shucked. Now, you look, see, every once in a while you'll see a straggler on there, but that can't be helped. I mean, you can't get 100% of that silk off. So what we're going to do, now my dad used to have this on a nail. He'd take a board and poke a nail through it, and then he'd slam the corn down and cut it that way. Well, I don't have a nail or a board. So this is the inset to one of my old, got something on there, one of my old angel food cake pans. Something on there. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to set it on here, and very carefully, we're just going to go down the cob, just like this. And as you can see, it sometimes splatters, but that's okay. We'll pick it up. That's why I have it on a cookie sheet here. There we go. So we're just going to cut it down. It does make a mess, but we'll clean that up. I did. It's oh so good. It's fresh in the wintertime. I'm making a mess, aren't I, Will?
No comment.
No comment. Maybe I should have that in something deeper, but I don't think I have anything deeper to put it in. And we'll just... There we go. Maybe if we did it in a deeper bowl. But I thought I always did it this way. And like I said, it does make a mess, but it's oh so good. We'll try it again here. It would help if I was a little taller. But when you're a little short one. Anyway, you get the idea. And I'm going to get the rest of this done. And then we're going to bag it up and I'll show you what we get from it. So, have a cup of tea, cold drink, and we'll be back in just a few minutes when I get all this done. Many names. Okay. We're back. We're going to cut this off. I've been trying to cut it off here. I'll explain to you about the Hutterites. They're a group of people, they're Anabaptist actually. Several hundred years ago, they split, the Anabaptists did, into three segments: the Hutterites, the Mennonites, and the Amish. Now the Hutterites, mainly agriculture people, they live in communes, so they're different from the Mennonites and the Amish who live in private residences. Easy for me to say. But the Hutterites, like I said, live in communes, side by side by side. Now they eat together, men on one side, women on another. They worship together, men on one side, women on another. It's predominantly a male-driven sect, I will say. But I'll tell you, I bought a lot of my vegetables from the Hutterites when we lived in Montana. And they took me on a tour of their compound. In fact, I was in one of their homes and had coffee with them one day. Went into the kitchen, because they all cook in one kitchen and eat, like I said, in the dining room off the kitchen. They had cleaned that kitchen after lunch. And I'm not kidding when I said you could have eaten off the floor. You could have eaten off the floor. Those people cleaned the kitchen from top to bottom. It was just amazing. Anyway, here we go. We're going to cut this corn off the cob. Just run your knife right down the cob there. I have it on a cookie sheet here. You can, do it in a shallow bowl or a baking pan, but we're just going to run our knives right down here. And some lands on the floor. Don't worry, you've got a broom and a dustpan, you can pick it up. So anyway, this is what we're doing as far as the corn goes. So I have about 3 dozen ears of corn here to do. And I'm not going to keep you with me while I do it. That's a little too long for you to sit here and watch something like corn come off the cob. I don't think it's real interesting, but you might. So anyway, I'll be back in a few minutes when I have all this done, and I'll show you what else we're going to do with it. Okay, now that we've got the corn all cut up, we're going to start freezing it. I thought I had enough Sailor Meal bags to freeze, but I guess I don't. So we're going to use Ziploc freezer bags, and we're going to do about 2 cups, which is about for a meal for our family. You can do whatever you need for your family, but since it's just usually Will and I, 2 cups is plenty. So just get the corn in there, fold it over. Get as much air out of here as possible. Seal it up. And that's it. We'll lay them flat to freeze. Mark the date on them. Now you have corn ready for the freezer. So let me tell you something. Thank you for all my subscribers. I sure do appreciate your support. You're very, very kind to me, especially with my Parkinson's. I sometimes shake, rattle, and roll all at the same time, but that's okay. But until next time, blessings to you and your family.